I said you can go to jail if you fail to identify yourself and fail to listen to my command.
I don't have to listen to your command, and I'm not absolute.
Show them what you're dressed like.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you're a suspicious person,
for what crime?
You're getting calls in.
For what crime?
For looking like that outside of a bank, man. That's all.
What's your name in your badge? No, what's your name?
Right here. Then you need to leave.
I need to leave.
You can't be dressed like
I'm
this.
not leaving.
You can't be dressed
What
like
you
this
mean?
outside the bank, man. Give me your ID. You're under investigation.
I don't ID. For what crime?
Give me your ID.
For
You're
what?
under
Get your
investigation.
supervisor here, bro.
Yeah, you can go to jail if you don't listen to us.
Hey, you can go to jail
and
too.
You don't identify yourself.
I'm gonna show you how you can go to jail. You gonna see
what's your first name?
You can call me Daddy.
A man dressed all funky and outside the bank,
funky,
taking notes, video camera in the bank. You can't do stuff like that, man. That's not normal.
That is normal.
Approach someone who's dressed like you in front of a bank.
Doing what? Professional.
I'm not going to approach you.
Why?
It's common sense. Keep your hands out of your pocket.
This is ain't nothing in my pocket. I put mine in my pocket.
Keep your hands out
I'm
of your
pulling
pocket.
my phone.
Keep your hands.
I got my phone.
Go on the ground now.
I got my phone.
You're done. You're done.
Go
to the
my
ground.
phone.
I'm going to take you to the ground.
Hey, I look.
Freedom of Information Act. FOIA. BZWATCHDOG News Network.
Alright, watchdogs, welcome back to the circus, where the clowns carry badges and popcorn is bought with your tax dollars. You just saw the recap of Kansas City Accountability's arrest last month, on Constitution Day of all days, in Appleton City, Missouri. Yep, the day we're supposed to celebrate rights. They decided to test the tensile strength of the First Amendment instead. Links to my previous coverage and KCA's original video are in my description. Go peep the receipts. Now, since then, I've been working the phones and comparing notes with KCA. Internal Affairs says they've wrapped their little homework assignment up, and the word on the street is Assistant Chief Michael Dobbs is back at work. How do I know? Because his personal vehicle was reportedly sunbathing out front at the station like nothing ever happened. I got the phone call. I have eyes and ears in town. So I did what we do here. I called up Chief Susan Lett directly. You're about to hear that call uncut. And after we spoke, she sent me a press release addressing the incident with Dobbs and KCA. We're going to read it, fact check it, and if necessary, redline it with a jumbo Sharpie live on the air. If there's a spin, we'll ring it out. If there's truth, it'll survive the sunlight. Because around here, transparency isn't a suggestion. It's my job description. Grab your popcorn and your FOIA forms. Because the accountability train, choo-choo, just pulled into Appleton City, and the conductor is in a mood. And I sure am. Before we dive in, do the thing. Smash that like button. Drop me a few comments. Share this everywhere. And subscribe to the channel. Sunlight's free. Distribution isn't. So let's roll this bad chicken. I hate people like that. Hey, Chief Lett, how you doing?
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. I left several messages for you. I'm glad I finally got a hold of you.
Well, I mean, you and, probably 1,000 other people, called and left messages and emails. I've been just trying to take care of everything that needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, but I'm more important. I'm a little bit more high profile than the rest of all the people calling in, angry and upset, cursing you out, most likely. I'm not planning on yelling at you, screaming.
Body harm.
Well, I would never allow anybody to do that or entice that, and I'm not that kind of person. That's why I like to have conversations with people because, I think a lot of times things can be handled if we have a conversation. I mean, I
understand.
And I understand that you spoke with Mr. Moses last week, and you spoke with Mr. Dobbs, I believe the next day, regarding his investigation. So
yes.
My question is, have you concluded the investigation at this point?
I'm still working on it. As you know, it's an open investigation, and I can't discuss anything on it. But like I said,
that's why I just asked.
To everybody.
That's why I asked if it was still open or if you'd closed it out. That was why.
Yeah.
That was my first question.
Yeah, we're getting everything, finished up.
Okay. Is now, while this investigation was going on, was Mr. Dobbs still at work?
No.
Okay. And the pictures I've got, I believe his truck is in the driveway and he's back to work today. Is that correct?
As of today, yes.
Okay. So when you during this investigation, he wasn't put on any kind of formal suspension. It was just kind of like a administrative leave until you kind of got to...
Until I concluded, yep, until I'm finishing everything up. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so it's concluded. It's just not closed out with your report and findings.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a ballpark?
Yeah, the last step was talking to Mr. Moses and to Mr. Dobbs.
I got you.
Dobbs.
I got you. Officer Dobbs or Assistant Chief Dobbs?
Well, Assistant Chief Dobbs. To me, I just call people by their last name.
Yeah,
cop-wise.
I was in the military. I get it. Everybody's last name. I get it.
That's why it's like, well, yeah, he's just Dobbs.
So yeah, I just and do you have a ballpark kind of like time frame, a date when you think you might be done with that investigation and have your findings with any possible disciplinary action depending on what your findings are?
Well, I mean, from my understanding from our attorneys that, per the police officer's Bill of Rights, whatever occurs, I can't disclose to anybody anyway.
No, I understand. I know Missouri has a strict rule about giving out disciplinary... This is what I do, ma'am. I'm a police and government accountability activist. I know every state has different rules.
I have no issues with any of that. Yeah, no, I get
I know
that.
what you can and can't do, and I've battled Missouri before, so I understand, what you can and can't do, and that's why...
It's not like we don't want to do it. It's just that, our hands are tied,
No, I get
on
it.
a lot of things.
The only way it's disclosed is if it's something that's discussed in, session with your city council and stuff like that. That's the only time it can be considered public. Outside of that, trust me, we have civil service commissions here in Texas where I'm at. Some of them don't release this file, but they'll release this file, and then there's some that aren't under the Police Officers Association.
Yeah, Texas has some weird stuff as well.
They have some weird stuff, and now they've got a senator who's trying to block them all together like Missouri, and I don't agree with that, because if you got a bad or rogue officer, everybody needs to be made aware. It's just like, if I'm convicted of a crime, I mean, that is going to be a matter of public record. Somebody can look up my stuff and know that I've done this in my past, and that could be it's like when you apply for a position, they look at my criminal background, and that should be, again, that should all be public knowledge. But I understand your position on where you're at. I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm not that type.
No, I know you're not. It's just I'm in a bad situation.
You are.
And, the problem is I don't want anything that I were to say be misconstrued. And, right now with the whole entire situation and people, everybody can misconstrue anything. Everybody has their own perception of everything, regardless of right, wrong, or indifferent, as you know.
Uh-huh.
Our perceptions of a, situation goes back to our age, what we've been through in our lives, what we do for a living, hereditary, all of it. I mean, everything goes, and I believe everybody has their own perception. You and I may see the exact same thing, but your perception of it is going to be different than my perception of it because we're two different people.
Sure, you're going to be biased on one side, I might be biased on the other side. I understand that. We got to play devil's advocate. I get it, 100%. I get it.
Yeah, and the problem is nowadays people, don't really want to have a conversation on why you might believe a certain thing. That, a lot of people just want you to. And I'm not saying you by any means. That's not what I'm meaning.
Sure.
I just found that it's easier on certain situations just not to get in the conversation because some people aren't open to having a conversation. Just because you believe one thing doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. And if I believe one thing, it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It just means we're two different people having a conversation about a situation.
Sure, and if you've noticed, I've been nothing but polite and respectful the whole time I've been on the phone.
No, I agree 100% with you. It's just, like I said, this is a bad situation. I'm in a bad spot. And, just found that it's easier, I wasn't ignoring any of it. It's just I was doing what I needed to do and taking care of and contacting the people I needed to contact and, have conversations with, which is Mr. Moses.
No, and I get that. Now, I do have a couple of questions because, as you know, I work as an activist and I have a platform, so I sometimes will refer to myself as a journalist. So I do have a few questions, and if you don't mind answering, if you can't answer, I understand. But I kind of like to know, because I've already put in records request, and they're trying to hit me with some like high bill. I just told her on the phone I need an itemized invoice. You can't just tell someone it's going to be over $1,000 for something that shouldn't be over.
Yeah, I don't know about any of that.
No, and I get that.
Sunshine request stuff. So.
Yeah, and it's regarding police, so that's why I'm asking you these questions. Did Mr. Dobbs have? Because I don't recall the video. I got to go back and look. But did Mr. Dobbs have a body camera on?
No, because we did not have body cams. Because of this
okay.
incident, we have purchased body cams and in-car cams.
Okay, so you guys...
So, he didn't have a body cam on, not because he didn't want to wear one, it's because we did not have body cams.
Okay, so you guys are saying that your department does not have body cameras, correct?
I have purchased them and they will be coming.
Okay, and then as far as I know he wasn't in a vehicle, but you guys do have dash cams or you don't have dash cams?
No, I have purchased body cams and car cams, both.
Okay, so
because of this incident.
Okay, so before the incident, your department didn't have any cameras whatsoever.
No.
Okay, and then
a lot of departments in smaller agencies in Missouri do not because of the financial strain of that.
I understand, and I also know there are federal grants and things that help. And I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm just I'm just asking because everybody can sit here and assume that you do have cameras. I'm asking you directly because you're the one that's got a
No, we do not.
buy 'em.
No, we didn't.
So.
Did not have them, but I have ordered them, and we will be getting them.
Okay. And obviously you probably don't know what date because they've got to come. You got to have them installed. You got to learn how to work. I get all that,
yeah.
and I'm not trying to beat you up on that.
Nope. I'm supposed to be having a meeting in regards to that next week. So yeah, I can't even answer that because I have no clue.
Do you know the company you are going to be using for that?
Axon.
Axon. Okay, so you're going directly through Axon. Okay, I get it.
Yep.
And now as far as and again, like I said, I don't know exactly what you can talk about, what you can't talk about. So I'm just going to ask the questions. If you can't talk about it, just let me know you can't talk about it. I'm okay with that answer.
Okay.
As far as in Mr. Moses' charges, because I believe one was a county charge and one was a municipal charge. Was that correct?
They are. I'd have to look to see what the tickets, and I don't have them in front of me. But all tickets have been dismissed.
Okay, so they have been dismissed.
Yes, they have been.
I haven't spoken with.
And he has been notified.
Okay, that was going to be my next question because I haven't spoken with Mr. Moses since last week. He did call me while I was on this phone call, but I told him I would call back because as, again, a journalist and an activist, I'm trying to make sure that I've got all my sources and questions covered. I don't want to assume and, I'm trying to play devil's advocate like you are. I'm just trying to make sure
no, it's all good. I get it.
And I want to make sure that that's why I reached out to you in the very beginning, because before all those calls came in, I wanted to reach out to you and kind of get a little bit of a little background so I could report correctly. Like I said,
and I appreciate that you wanted to do it correctly. It's just, when it all first starts and everybody's reaching out, my main thing was to figure out what was going on.
Now, I do have word. I can't really confirm it because of the laws that you guys have about the disciplinary records in Missouri. And I'm not saying that you can confirm what I know, but were you made aware of any kind of disciplinary action or disciplinary history from Grandview, Missouri PD when he applied? Were you made aware of any of that?
I cannot discuss that.
What's that?
I cannot discuss that. That's an employee issue.
Okay, I just wasn't sure.
With, employee documents or anything prior to employment here or employment, I cannot discuss any of that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of the disciplinary history that he had with Grandview, and that's whether you deny it, confirm it. I'm letting you know that there are some things there. And if you weren't made aware, now you kind of maybe have grounds to go check, take a look, or make a phone call, or do what you got to do on your side.
Okay.
Outside of that, are you guys going to be putting out a press release regarding the closing?
Yes, I was actually working on that.
Okay, and when should we? I'd like an email of it if you don't mind. I know you're probably going to put it on Facebook before I get a chance to get a hold of it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping possibly tomorrow to have that out. Like, I've just been working on it. I've been doing some other stuff today as well.
Sure, I know you got other things. I'm not trying to beat you up.
No, it's just, the last month's been pretty much, me addressing what's been occurring, so I'm just trying to catch up on some other stuff as well.
If I give you my email, could you notate it and send me the press release?
As long as my attorney doesn't have an issue with it, I won't have an issue with it.
Well, I mean, it's the press release you guys are going to be putting on Facebook anyways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could just email me that whenever you guys get ready to put it out, I have no problem with that, and there shouldn't be an issue with the attorneys at all. I mean, I'm just asking for the press release you're going to put out publicly anyways. Just, when you, instead of me trying to, get phone calls or call you back about it, if it just can be emailed when you put it out, that's all I'm asking, if you don't mind.
Okay, what's your email?
It's B as in boy,
Mm-hmm.
Z as in zebra,
Mm-hmm.
the word watch, like you put around your wrist, and the word dog, D-O-G, at gmail.com. BZWATCHDOG at gmail.com.
Perfect.
And that's really all the questions I really had for you.
Okay.
It was just, again, I wasn't calling in, incite violence. I wasn't calling to make a threat. I wasn't calling to scream and cuss you out. And
that.
I'm just trying to get some information on what you legally can put out, so that way I can, report back. And like I said, I get off the phone with you. I'm going to call Mr. Moses to pretty much talk to him real quick before I put anything out. And I may have to wait till your press release is out, before I put anything out. I just kind of want to touch base, just because I put a records request in 3 weeks ago and I still haven't really had anything. I know that's not your fault, even though it's coming to the PD. The girl should have sent it over, but I also asked for an itemized invoice, and this is the first time I actually had somebody at the city pick up the phone. I've been trying to call.
We've been so inundated with telephone calls that it wasn't possible to even answer the phone because it was ringing so much.
No, and I get that.
Death threats and what horrible people we are and everything else.
Well, and I don't know how horrible, I'm going to do my air quotes, you people are, because I just know from what I've seen and from what I've heard and what I've looked at, I don't really think highly of Mr. Dobbs, but, that's my own personal,
I understand that.
That's my own personal opinion, and that's something that I've got to live with, and, that doesn't affect you or Mr. Dobbs, so, but outside of that, no, I mean, I appreciate it. Like I said, if you see a phone call from me, don't be scared to pick up the phone. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not going to beat you up.
All the calls go in up there, and I don't even pay attention when it rings, to be quite honest.
No, and like I said, it's a
front office.
It's a, so when you see it, don't be scared to pick up the phone, because I'm probably just got some questions. And at this point, I mean, I know what you guys can and can't do legally, even after the investigation's closed, as far as in his disciplinary history. But if he's now, is there a thing? Actually, I do have one more question, because I'm trying to get myself re-familiar with the laws there. If there is a certain punishment level, say like a suspension, is that something that can be disclosed, or is it only like a termination or resignation?
Nothing at all can be disclosed, period.
So not even a termination?
Nope.
So when
it comes to employee basis of anything, cannot be disclosed.
Okay, so if just say a worst case scenario, you guys decided as the city and your city council and the mayor decided to terminate Mr. Dobbs' employment, you still couldn't put that in a press release or make that public. That would be something that would fall under.
No, and I mean, the press release is going to be pretty much, just short and sweet. Nothing will be addressed as far as what has or has not happened in regards to Officer Dobbs.
Okay.
I just call him Dobbs. I'm
not. No, you're good. I just had to ask that question because I wasn't sure if when someone's let go, if that's even rises to the level of public knowledge. That's why I was asking that question.
Nope. In the state of Missouri, anything that is related to employees, period, cannot be disclosed.
Okay. Well, that was my final question. I will let you get back to work. I do appreciate you taking my call and talking with me. And
nope, absolutely. I'm sorry. It's just been a stressful month, and I'm just trying to get back on track and get everything started again. So
I understand.
I hope you're not taking me being rude. It's just been a long month.
No, I didn't say that because if you were being rude, I'm the kind of person that would call you out on it on the phone. So.
Well, I'm a very straightforward, blunt person. Period. You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
I don't say a bunch of BS or stuff like that. It's just I'm a straightforward, blunt person. It's just, had a lot going on and just trying to get back on track again.
I get it. I've dealt with these situations in bigger cities. Trust me, I know what happens when something's really publicized in a big city about something. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if I could be a journalist.
Oh, I'm talking as far as in being a police chief in a bigger city. You should see what kind of politics and hell you'd get if you were in a bigger city.
Yeah, well, this is bad enough, so I wouldn't want to, deal with it on that level, but people make the decisions they make, and then you just have to take care of things from there.
Well, we just need to get Dobbs a little bit more training on First and Fourth Amendment rights, but outside of that,
my whole entire department's going to have a lot more training on many areas.
Well, if you'd like some training, just give me a call. I'll be more than happy to give you all that information.
Hey, that'd be great.
I'll be able to. I can forward you some stuff or whatever it is. Anything, because I do work with PDs that need a little bit of training and understand the do's and don'ts, so they don't land into a PR nightmare like this.
Yeah, send me the information because, like I said, I've learned, a lot myself out of this situation, needing, body cams and cams for the vehicles, different trainings on some other stuff and, get us to, everybody can learn things from everybody.
Well, you got to remember there's three good things that come out of the body cams and the dash cams. One, it covers your butt if there's any allegations that are ever made. Two, it also protects the other person if they're claiming something happened or didn't happen and they got a complaint against your officer. Three, if it ever goes to court, now you've got actual physical evidence captured on video and audio to hold more weight to your case.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm a firm believer in cameras. I'm out there recording. I'm out there being recorded. I may not like it, but hey, it's, I'm out in a public space. And,
well, everybody has a right to do that, though.
Hey, they do.
Everybody has a right to record.
I may not like it, but you know what? I got to live with it because I know we live in that day and age and that era nowadays that, everything's, all the CCTV cameras, the facial recognition, that's what we've come to, but I think it's better to be absolute about somebody committing a crime than having just circumstantial evidence and sentencing somebody who may not be guilty of a crime to a 30-year plus sentence I'm just speaking in general. I'd rather have an absolute than frying somebody that may be innocent. I don't like to work on maybes. I like to work on absolutes.
No, and I understand that. I don't, want anybody that didn't commit a crime to do the time. You know what I mean? That's just wrong because that doesn't, the way I look at it is when you put someone in jail, when you're taking their freedom, not only are you affecting them, but you could be affecting their lineage. You could be affecting, their entire family, how their kids look at things, what could happen to their kids in their life. So, it's a domino effect. It
is. And that's why I don't believe anybody going to jail unless it's violent or a serious crime because, if you're innocent, you got to go through the process. You got to pay for lawyers. People may not be able to afford it. The financial burden.
Not with today's society, with the cost of things and what people make in a living. It's hard to function. And then, imagine having kids and all, it's, impossible to take care of your family.
Yeah, I agree with that statement, especially with everything going on. But hey, Miss Susan Lett, I am gonna let you get going. I'm gonna throw a joke. I'm gonna let you go.
All right, that'll work. Well, thank you for calling.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate taking my call.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, watchdogs. That's a wrap. And if you haven't seen the whole saga, go watch my full breakdown or hit KCA's original video on his channel. Do your homework. Then come back with popcorn and a FOIA form. Quick victory lap, though. When KCA walked out of that jail, I was his first call. And then I did what I do best. I poked the bear and kicked the hornet's nest until both started filing those HR complaints. I spoke with the prosecutor. He told me he wasn't going to prosecute. I rang the city. Crickets. No answers. Finally, I filed a records request and still waiting on the world famous "we'll get right on that" from the records department. Then the tips rolled out after my Facebook post. Folks were saying that Assistant Chief Michael Dobbs is now back at work and that body cams have been around for a while. They just choose not to wear them. Meanwhile, all charges have been dismissed. As KCA and I like to say, it's time for the healing process, which starts right after the accountability process finishes doing push-ups. Now, city contact info is below if you want to politely reach out. If you want to keep this watchdog fed and the sunlight blazing, grab some of my merch, become a channel member, and help me keep the pressure washer set to truth. Now, before you go, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Drop a comment or two. Repost this everywhere and hit that subscribe button. Sunlight is still the best disinfectant. I'm your boy BZWATCHDOG, and I'll see you in the next video.
BZWATCHDOG.